Yeah.
So, Mayor, obviously, you got kind of shouted down for much of that speech. What's your reaction to the teachers being so sort of outspoken tonight?
So, this is our opportunity, to come out with a transformational contract. The truth is that our schools in so many ways are low performing, and we can't tolerate the status quo. We need to do something big, something with a vision. And you all know that my main priority has been our kids in our schools, and we're going to continue to invest in them. We've invested directly into our kids through summer learning, through computers. We're investing $400 million over the next 10 years into our school buildings. So this continues to be the priority. In terms of the contract, this is our opportunity for a transformational contract. I will not tolerate the status quo, and I'm going to fight for our kids to make sure that they have the education opportunities that they need. On top of that, when you look at the long-term city's finances, we simply don't have the money. The teachers received a raise 8 months ago, and they're asking for another raise. Look, before we get to that point, let's talk about a transformational contract. And I'm willing to reach an agreement. I'm willing to do something that's fair for everyone involved, but I gotta see more that's going to prepare our kids for the world that awaits them once they graduate.
They claim you reneged on your contract. Sorry, guys. They claim you reneged on an offer that had raises in it. Now you kind of don't want to give them raises at least until the third year of the contract. Is that accurate?
Look, we're still in the negotiation process, so we're at the table. I'm not going to go into the details of it. I can tell you that that's not the characterization that I would put to the negotiations that we've had, but it doesn't matter. Look, what we need to focus on is this is our opportunity for a transformational contract, and I'm going to keep fighting for our kids to make sure that we get that. Most of my investments and my top priority has been our kids. So we're going to invest in computers, we're going to invest $400 million into our school buildings, and we're going to keep investing in summer learning. And that's the priority, and that's what we're going to continue to invest in.
How do you feel about the way that they came out tonight, the constant shouting? I mean, it was, at points we could hear them more than we could hear you.
It's democracy in action, and it is what it is. Look, my responsibility is stay focused, keep doing good work, focus on the policy. And that's why I want to make sure that we're focused on a transformational contract here. We can't tolerate having the lowest performing schools. There's no reason why we, as an urban district, can't have the top performing schools in the state. Our kids are as smart, they're as bright, they're as hardworking as anybody else. If they have the tools and supports that they need, they're going to be world beaters. I believe that, and we need to make sure that everything is aligned. Now, the contract is a piece of that, and I'm not going to let any opportunity go by without fighting for our kids to make sure that we get to the point where we have the kind of transformational contract that prepares our kids for success in school and life.
What's a transformation? I recognize you're not going to do this all through us, but what's a transformation? What's an example of a transformational contract that you're looking at? What's a provision that you'd like to say?
Yeah. So I mean, that's still all subject to negotiations, and I'm not going to negotiate in public, but I want it to be something big. And there are a lot of things that we have put on the table. There are things that have been considered, but the important thing here is that the status quo is not working, right? There should be an urgency. There should be anger at the status quo, and there's no way we're going to tolerate it going forward. So let's come together, let's work together. And the second piece of that is, look at the city's finances over the long term. We just don't have the money right now. They received a raise 8 months ago. They're not going to get another raise right now. I don't know anybody here who has received 2 raises in a year. So let's be reasonable, let's put kids first, and let's think about a transformational contract that can boost results in our schools.
I think, sorry, go ahead.
The president of the teachers union says, as of today, there's no plans for like a meeting going forward. Do you plan on making one? Or that's what she says. Is that true?
I'm happy to meet anytime. So my door is always open. We'll keep the conversation going. So I think that's right that there's no meeting scheduled, but I'm happy to meet at any point.
The claim that we don't have the money, I think that's what a lot of what the union is kind of critical of. They're saying that you guys are spending money in other areas of education, on charter schools, on a new time clock, for example, as opposed to teacher pay. How would you respond to that?
I mean, that's all. I mean, that's peanuts. right? When we talk about raises for the teachers, I mean, it starts getting into the millions of dollars very, very quick. And you know, we have a surplus in the city, we have a rainy day fund. All of that is going to evaporate in a heartbeat unless we watch our costs going forward. So all of that is well documented, all of that is clear. If we get to the point where we're going to contribute, you know, significantly and increase our costs, I want to see something that I can look kids in the face and say, I fought for you and I got you the very best deal, because the status quo isn't working and we need to push harder and make sure that we get something done for our kids.
So do you think the teachers are putting themselves before their students?
I mean, you can interpret that however. My job is to advocate for our kids, and I'm going to keep doing that to get to that kind of contract that can realize the vision that we want for our kids over the long term. So I consider myself their advocates, and I'm going to continue advocating for them.
We'll do 2 more questions.
Great,
Okay.
thank you guys.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it.